Hello everyone, Pierce Nation here. Welcome to a brand new video where we're going to be discussing the Dragon Archfiend deck. But before we do, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. And also, we are sponsored by Dubby, so make sure you go to dubby.gg, check them out. Use code Pierce Nation 47 to get 10% off at checkout. So now diving into this, I kind of edited it so you could like see it on screen good enough, but basically this is the Dragon Archfiend deck that will hit tier 1 status. This deck is really good. I've tested it out and I've seen, you know, how this deck pops off. You know, I'm currently playing it. I played it at the last locals and I went 2-1 there. They only had 3 rounds, and the one game I just seen no hand traps, and you know how that goes. And Red Resonator got imperked. Can't do anything about that. But the new card you'll see down there, which is the Red Lotus King, he really does speed things up quite a bit. So it will potentially make everything a lot better in the long run. So again, Red Lotus King here. I set it up so I could actually view the cards. But as you can see, for what I'm thinking for the next format is you run somewhere around 12 hand traps, where like hand traps are still relevant in the next coming formats, but they're not like the most dramatic thing that you're gonna have to have. So like I said, I believe draw will be in there somewhere, more of a cross out target than of anything, but like you see one, you can still cross one out, whatever. I believe Nibiru is just going to be good from here on out. Ash Blossom as well, because of, you know, Tenpai and all those other decks coming out. Imperms, again for Tenpai. But you got to be careful, because if Tenpai gets that field spell up, it'll be troublesome. But with this deck can take care of it really easy, because we can remove the field spell and negate the field spell while it is face up in the monster zone. So that is something we can do. As you can see, you know, the numbers these are currently what they're going to be. This is not, I'm not gonna say it's not mastered, because I've put a lot of work into this and making this like the best that I can. But we get this card next set, which is Legacy of Destruction. This card just so happens to be a Dragon Dark Synchro, so we're going to be playing this card, and we now play a Centurion package, which I tried to make a video about this before and the audio didn't work, so I'm basically just redoing what I did, just kind of like touching over the points of this deck and why it's really good. You'll notice Red Rain's in here. I actually played Red Rain as one of in my deck, and I played my list exactly at 40. I actually just got the super rare thanks to Smith Dungeon in Grayson, Kentucky. So if you're local to Smith Dungeon, make sure you go check them out. They were pretty cool. Played down there and had a good time. But again, yeah, I play Red Rain at 1 because it's really good. And in the future, this card, if you use it for synchro material, it actually sends a normal trap. So you send Red Rain, and then you'll go off of Red Rising, and you'll start doing your normal plays, either going into Super Red Nova or going into like Abyss, Dissipator, those sort of routes. And when you do make another synchro, this card just adds something like the hand every turn. So it's pretty busted, not gonna lie. As you can see, Summon Limit and Anti-Spell are in the side decks. Really good and impactful cards. Bestials, I don't know. I think maybe because of Gimmick Puppet, and if you can hit those main Gimmick Puppet monsters that make playing against the deck completely unfair, I think that's a good point to hit. Simply because it does a lot, unfortunately. Now I will say this deck is good until Gimmick Puppet comes out. Once Gimmick Puppet comes out, this deck, it might get a few tops, but it's gonna get obliterated by Gimmick Puppets, and it's not even a contest at that point. So if you're gonna play this deck, play it while you can. you know, now's a good time to start investing, because the cards that you need for this deck are not extremely expensive. I think I seen Bestial Dissipator's going for 25, Quasar going for like 8, and what was the other one I'm getting? Really underestimated card, which is the Majestic Red Dragon. So if you're wondering, like, why is this in here? You don't have the targets. You don't have to have the targets. I went ahead, read the card completely up and down. I've tested it like 10,000 times. I've talked to judges because I didn't know about this card, because I'm like, you have to have materials to have it have the effects. That's what I was wanting. It's like, do you have to do it properly for it to have these effects? Because, you know, I do play Crimson Dragon, I do play Calamity. Obviously, you're playing Red Dragon Archfiend, you should be playing Calamity. The Centurions actually help you make Calamity turn 2, and then turn 3 you just blow them out of the water with whatever you want to make. So you can literally make this and then turn around on the next following turn, target something, and make like Super Red Nova, Quasar, you know, whatever you want. I mean, if you got another 8, I mean, you can make Scarlet, and you got any 10, you can make Majestic, you can make Scarred or Archfiend. More than likely these are already out of your extra deck. The only one that should still be there is probably Scarlet, and then you got Bane, and then you got your Red Dragon, your Red Risings, which we only play 2. As you see, everything in there is a 1 of. If they hit anything, I've seen cashier players always nip Crimson Dragon. For me specifically, it is really hard for me to make this with this deck currently, because I'm not playing the Centurions yet. We are getting there, but this is my idea for the future. I think Red Dragon Archfiend is in a really good spot, and also we run 3 Cross-Out Detonators. I don't know if y'all seen that. I didn't really touch up on it, but I am running Cross-Out Detonators as well. Yeah, there's a lot of shit that piles in this deck. I think Nib and Empire are more prominent cards than the other cards we have, because from what I heard, and don't know if it'll do anything, but I hope so. I heard the Fire King Kieran, I think it's High Avatar Kieran, whichever one it is, it doesn't really matter. We all know which one I'm talking about, the one that non-target destroys and then does its thing, whatever. Heart is getting limited, which is really damn good, because that thing's annoying. It doesn't do a whole lot, but limiting it to 1, and then if you banish it from graveyard, that's it. Because the Fire King package will become irrelevant, which is a good thing. I wouldn't know anybody that would play it just for the 1 pop and then just like, okay, it was a good game. So like I said, pretty good there. Like I said, you can see this whole extra deck. The extra deck is exactly what it's going to be. This extra deck is not changing. The only possible thing that I would do is put a second RDA. I just don't have any room, because this can be made pretty easily. Red Nova is an easy make. I do this all the time. And I didn't used to make these because I really didn't see the purpose of making these. Never make this card. I just don't. I think I was gonna do it once, but I ended up on like Crimson, and like there was no outcome of it. I did Calamity lock somebody the other day at Whirlwind, and they got super tilted because they couldn't play the game, but whatever. They can go Cry River, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I said, it happens all the time. Like, I understand I got Calamity locked at a high event with this freaking card, and I was mad. I was tilted, but can't do anything. So like what are you gonna do? It's a card, it's legal. There's not really anything you can do about it. Do I see it getting hit on the ban list? No, I don't. I'm not gonna lie, I do not see this card getting hit. This card, if you're not familiar with this card, what it does, I think you need to look into this. So I had a bunch of people ask me, they're like, well, I'll look into this card. If I was a Red Dragon Archfiend player, I would definitely play this goddamn thing. So what makes this good is if you're actually playing the Red Dragon Archfiend deck, you can hard make this pretty easily. Like you could put out like the Scarred Archfiend, and then like I'm not playing Overloop in this, but it's gonna be in there somewhere. I just haven't fit it in yet, whatever, because in my current build I do play Overloop, which I think is better than the Wandering Wild one, so I think it's like 10 times better. But it is like 10 times better than everything else. But again, with the Overloop, you can hard make this card because it's Dragon Synchro. How convenient. But I personally wouldn't do that. Centurion deck as a whole is going to get stronger. The trap you play is going to be Phalanx. I don't play the Omni. I find this to be better because you can just banish the card, special the monster back, and then its effect on end phase can trigger, and you can put one of them in the spell and trap zones. And typically what I want to do is I want to put the one that's a tuner in the spell and trap zones, unless if I have like Overloop, because I want to try to hard make Crimson on the follow-up. And when you do that, you want to spit out like Calamity or something of that matter. It's a really good play to do, or just make Quasar, like, whatever. Like it doesn't really matter as long as the game plan is straightforward and you're getting to your end goal. So let's talk about some of the cards that are in here. So obviously you're gonna play 3 Soul. Soul actually searches the Red Lotus because it is a fiend. So how nice. This will be the faster way to get into Red Rising. And also this card burns. So if you go to time, you're gonna win because of this card. This card will, with it plus Soul, equals 800 burn, which is huge. Second of all, it specials from hand if you control a fiend tuner or if your opponent controls a special summon monster. So it's got 2 really good conditions that you can almost fulfill every time. Not only that, but if you locked under summon limit, which this card should get limited, I would imagine a summon limit's kind of just like a free win at this point, which for me it's not that big a deal because I can just bone Archfiend, send it, and do its thing. But specifically what I can do is, again, we can make the Red Rising with it, like whatever, it doesn't matter. So, and then this card will send the trap. So let's say even if you outed, let's say, because this card searches too, I don't know if I noted that or not, but face up cards in your spell and trap zones can't be destroyed. So Gaia, Red Zone, they're just gonna stick around. They ain't going anywhere. So, and your Centurion stand up, that's what makes it hard, is when you can't out this card. So it can't be destroyed by card effects, and this gives it additional protection as well. So that makes it even harder because it is in your spell and trap zone technically, but it's a field spell, so it doesn't apply like normal. So this does not protect this. making sense? But this, but just having this can protect this. It's weird. It's the wording of these cards. Centurion cards are really good. The reason I say play these cards is because the tuners are level 4 and it's really easy to get into. Really good effect. It goes and grabs any of them. This card can place itself from the field to place Primera, and then Primera can special and do its thing. And go and grab like Phalanx, and then off of let's say I make Dragon Archfiend, and then I can use it and the Trudea to make this guy, and then I can use his effect on the end phase, which he doesn't target, by the way. So if you even banish my Primera, I can still get it in the spell and trap zone because of the way this card's worded. If you do not know the wording of this card, you can actually look this card up. It places one Centurion monster card from graveyard or banishment into the spell and trap zones. This card is really good, and it's got really good protection, and it's a really hard card to out, especially when you're pairing it up with the Dragon Archfiend deck, like Bane. A lot of times I end on Bane, and I need to start doing like Dissipator lines to get more than just Bane, because I'd rather have a Dissipator 3500 body than I would a Bane 3500 body. But if I can Dissipator and then do like Crimson on the follow-up and target Dissipator to spit out Bane, like that's game. That's game, and I'll go with that what I will. So you're kind of seeing this and what it is. Red Screen's a really good card to search. Scarlet Security, RP Feather Duster if you control Dragon Archfiend, and then Absolute Power Force. So in real life, I main deck this, and I'm probably going to main deck this in this deck because this card is a blowout card going second. The minute you get to this card, you auto win. It's just so huge, and there's not like really anything your opponent can do. They just sit there and go, oh, okay, well, that's fair. And it's absolutely crazy, like what this card can do for you. So if you guys have any questions about this deck, again, we're not going to be playing the Bestials, and probably won't be playing the Soul Release, because the Snake Eyes should be extinct by the time this deck hits down. But next format, with the Centurion stuff being live, you're gonna have everything except for the Red Lotus King, and the minute that comes out, this deck hits tier 1 status and is one of the best decks to play. So make sure, if you guys are new to the channel, or if you've seen my videos multiple times, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. A sub goes a long way. We are currently climbing to 400. We're at 341 subs. I appreciate everybody that comes on the channel, comments, and even likes my videos. I appreciate all that feedback. Do with what you will. And also remember to go to w.gg to get your W products. They got hoodies, merch, and whatnot. I also have the energy drinks and the energy packets. So if you like to drink energy drinks while you're at work, you're in the office, if you're on your lunch break, or if you're just chilling doing combos with the homies, make sure you go up down there, and they got the little packets. They're like 30 bucks for a thing of them, and use my code, you get them for like $25. So go support Dubby. It also helps me out here at the channel. So without further ado, I'm Pierce Nation, and we'll see you in the next video. Pierce Nation.